think people see when people already have success, they say, okay, well, I can duplicate that. I can do what he does or do what she does, not knowing the amount of work that went into it before that person got to where they currently are, right? They only see the end product. They don't see the work, the sleepless nights, the feeding the baby, the working with the husband and the spouse and one person handling this side and this side. A lot of people don't see that. A lot of people don't see that at all. And I love that you mentioned that. So tell me this. So after you got out of the military, you said, okay, well, this isn't working. You're continuing your bachelor's degree. So, the military gave you a lot of discipline, which is something I hear about all the time because I have a lot of veterans that follow us as well, too. And some of them are in the house today, I would imagine, watching this show. And that's one thing they consistently tell me about, the discipline, right? The structure. I see a lot of military individuals going into tech, and that's where you ended up. So tell us about the journey, the transition from the military into where you are today. Give us some insights there, Della.
Yeah, I definitely will. So during this journey, it was a lot of self-reflection and self-growth. So I've always loved tech. When I was in high school, one of my we had like career paths that we were on, and mine was a IT path. I've always loved tech. I didn't think I was smart enough to do it. I always
Mm,
doubted myself in that fashion. Um, and it just got to a point where I was like, why not? Why not? Let me just try it. So I met with my advisor. He put me in the cybersecurity role and I was killing it. I was doing really good. Even with, the five kids, I was still making, I mean, not five kids, I would take five courses with my three kids and I'd still have A's and I was still doing well. And I'm like, man, I can do this. Like, this is great. But the part of it that was challenging is I'm a very outgoing person. I love to talk. I love to meet people. I love hearing people's stories. Like, I'm very personable. I just love people.
mhm.
And it was hard trying to just be behind a computer screen performing a role and I'm not meeting with people. So I was like, you know what? I wonder if there is some way where I can combine like sales, meeting people, being out in the front, getting paid for the results that I bring into the company and the tech, and I didn't know that it existed at the time. So I just started researching. I was on TikTok, I was on YouTube, I was everywhere and I found it. And I loved it. I loved everything I heard about it. And as I'm looking, so I'm like, you know what, let me just apply. Let's see. So I'm looking through Indeed, and that's where I found the course careers ad, and it just made sense to me. It just made sense. It was a To me, I felt like it was a small investment. If And the way I viewed it, I was like, if it really does do what it says it's going to do, if you're really going to let me get a job at the end, you're going to really provide me with a community of people where I can learn, and it cost at the time 500. That's it's a small investment.
Right, right, right. Especially for you having the opportunity to get into a space and make a minimum of $55,000 a year, a minimum of $55,000 a year. So you chose to do course careers because it was speaking your language. You are wanted to bridge the gap between tech as well as the business side of it, right? And that's something that I love to talk about on this channel as well too. I have a passion for that because that's why I push management information systems, Della, is because of the fact that it is a combination of tech and business, right? It's you have your core business curriculum as well as your technical curriculum as well, and you can choose to go either way in your career. I started to go the technical way when I first entered the workforce. And then I slowly navigated more towards the business side on the sales side. But what you end up finding out is as you navigate towards the more business side, upper levels, including sales, you get paid a shitload more.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You get paid a lot more, right? So, which is the reason why, ever since I've been in the sales, I've been speaking on sales and trying to get more of us, women and men, into sales roles because you don't have to be necessarily technical. You can have a technical degree or not have a technical degree. either way, if you're a student of learning and you have really good soft skills, you can make a good career choice by choosing something in sales. So you saw Course Careers as an ad. You said, you know what? This sounds great. It's going to help me get a job. It's only a $500 investment. A $500 investment. That's it. Okay. And if you use the Antoine discount code of Antoine50, it's $450. So any of you guys who are looking to get into tech sales, look into the link of the description section of this video and check out Course Careers. And if you want to sign up for it, there's a 50% or a $50 discount code if you use Antoine's 50 that you guys can leverage. And it's not $500, it's $450. And that's a small investment if you're looking to transform your career. So talk about your journey, Della, when you decided to sign up. What happened after the sign up to Course Careers?
Yeah, I kind of was just flooded with emotions at the time. I was in five different courses. One of them was like data science. It was so much. I had so much going on already. My children were going to be transitioning out of school soon. I had, exams coming up, and I was like, man, like, can I really do this? Can I do it? So what I did was I sat down and I calculated how much energy, how much time I was putting into each course. And I was
Mm,
like, you know what? I can do it, because I'm putting an hour in on Netflix. I'm putting this much time on TikTok. I'm putting that much time on Facebook. I can do it. Like, I'm investing all of this into them. Why can't I invest that into myself? Come on, that's a no-brainer. So I did it. I started putting on focus mode on my phone. I cut it out and I dedicated 2 hours a day. And I was like, well, whatever I get done in these 2 hours, that's what I'm gonna do. Whether it's reading, whether it's taking the test, whether it's watching the videos. I did it, and I also scheduled, I learned about how important LinkedIn was. I wasn't really on LinkedIn. I came from the military. So it was just like, LinkedIn. But I learned about it. So I scheduled 30 minutes every night on LinkedIn, 15 minutes. At the time, when I first started with school, I wanted to go in. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do fully, but I knew I wanted to do some type of developer role. So I had 30 minutes carved out each night after the kids went to bed to work on my portfolio. So I
mm,
said I'll have to take some time from that. Since I'm not thinking about doing that anymore, I'll start putting that time into my LinkedIn, developing, any additional skills that I'm going to need, reading, listening books, because that was something I needed to work on, was my active listening.
mm,
So I started putting the time in and investing that time into myself. And I would check, I make sure and go back and check, okay, well, how much time did I spend on TikTok today? How much time did I spend on LinkedIn? How much time did I spend on Facebook? Making sure I'm investing more in myself than I am into other companies that's really just trying to sell me. They're just, the profile is free because they're selling you to the people that are advertising on it.
mm,
So I
mm,
realized, let me put that time back into myself, because then instead of me looking and scrolling, people are going to be looking and scrolling for me.
mm,
So that's what I wanted to do. And I had to be very intentional about my time. And I also had to be very intentional about what I was doing when I wasn't, like, investing that time into myself, because every conversation I had, every person I talked to on the phone, every time I'm texting somebody, like, that's going into my spirit, that's going into who I am, and then it's developing me. So I had to start being intentional, and people that are going to be, girl, I don't know if you can do that. I don't know about that. I wouldn't spend, I didn't talk to them. I didn't tell them what I was doing. I just had to, I love you. I'm sorry. I'll talk to you later. I got to go. I apologize. It's no love lost. I love you, but I had to do it. And so it was like, because I knew, sometimes you get those people that really, they mean well and they mean a lot to you, but they put those doubts in your mind, and it's only going to grow, so you have to make sure you're watering your mental garden with something that's nourishing, something that's good. You're fertilizing it. So I started
mm,
to make sure everything I watched on TV, was something positive. Everything, any type of movie my husband and I watch together, it has to be inspiring. It's something that's going to motivate us. It's something that's going to be like, we're going to walk away like, man, you know what, now we feel pumped up and ready for the next day. So that was something we started to get intentional about, both of us together, and it helped. I love my husband. It really helped having him as a partner to hold me accountable, but
mm.
also go on that journey with me.